The $500 million mega farm that feeds America's hidden billionaire family. There are billionaires that are loud with their wealth, and there are billionaires that people barely know or hear about. And one of these silent billionaires is the Cargill-Macmillan family. The Cargill-Macmillan family is one of the wealthiest families in the United States. The Cargill-Macmillan family's wealth status goes a long way, knowing it's pure money from an unexpected source. The Cargill-Macmillan family neither made their $500 million fortune from the modern-day brewing technology or even the olden days fashion spinning into wealth. Instead, the family's fortune is from a mega farm. The family owns the largest privately held company in America, named Cargill Incorporated. Cargill-Macmillan family background. The 1800s witnessed a lot of farming success, but not every agricultural successful business that was created back then made it into the 21st century. However, the Cargill-Macmillan family made the list of the very few that survived different centuries and its style of agriculture. The Cargill Inc. was an idea of William Wallace Cargill, which he brought to life in 1865. William Wallace Cargill started the business with a simple approach as he majored in grain storage business in Conover, Iowa. After a couple of years, Mr. Cargill seemed to have gotten a good grip of the business, and he decided to expand into various areas, including agricultural services, food production, and commodities trading. Cargill Inc. was incorporated in 1927, and by then, the company had diversified into meat processing, grain trading, and animal feed, becoming a crucial part of the global food production industry. Cargill's ability to withstand the tough times while adapting pushed it forward to expanding into new areas, ensuring its continued growth throughout the 21st century. The business kept growing, and it was passed on from children to grandchildren. However, in 1936, the business welcomed a stable partner who happened to be John Macmillan. John Macmillan was a lawyer and businessman who was also interested in the agriculture business. About 2 decades passed, and the Macmillan family gained control of the company after buying out the Cargill family's shares, and that birthed the Cargill-Macmillan family being the sole owners of the multi-million-dollar business. During the 1950s and 1960s, Cargill made some strategic moves as it expanded its operations into South America, Africa, and Europe, becoming a major trader in the international grain trade. The company also invested heavily in transportation infrastructure, building large networks of railroads and trucks to deliver products to markets around the world, unlike its competitors. The fact that Cargill could control the dominant processes of the supply chain, which was from production to transportation to distribution, gave Cargill the opportunity to develop an unimaginable future success that the company enjoys till date. Over the years, the Cargill-Macmillan family continued to increase its wealth. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, the company expanded into new areas such as financial services and risk management. Cargill's control of such a diverse set of industries allowed the family to exert enormous influence over global markets. It was during this time that the family amassed some of its most significant wealth, largely due to Cargill's strategic investments in emerging markets and its ability to dominate food-related industries. The business has been a success since then, as Cargill Inc. operates in about 70 countries in the world, while focusing on agriculture and a few other industries like energy and finance. The Cargill-Macmillan wealth. The Cargill-Macmillan wealth isn't far-fetched. While most of the other companies that have been in existence, or even new companies, easily allow other folks to buy shares and gradually gain control of their companies, the Cargill-Macmillan family have stood the test of time in owning the major shares of the company, hereby giving no other individual or family the chance to have a better percentage of their profits like they have. The uniqueness of the company remains despite its privatization, even with its global expansion and presence. The Cargill-Macmillan family is still the significant shareholder of the business, having significant control over its profits and operations. The wealth the two families have amassed is where their $500 million wealth comes from, while the company itself keeps functioning with the estimation of tens of billions and uncountable staff and employees. The Cargill-Macmillan family have been listed on the wealthiest families in the United States several times due to their jaw-dropping wealth. However, the Cargill-Macmillan family have continued to live a low public profile. The families are not interested in the regular public profiling accorded to wealthy folks. The wealthy family isn't as popular as the Waltons of Walmart or the Kochs of Koch Industries. The Cargill-Macmillan family is not as publicly visible as other high-profile wealthy families, which leads to the business's finances unknown. Much of the Cargill-Macmillan wealth is tied up in the privately held Cargill Company, and they do not need to disclose their financial details like public companies do. That helps the company keep their fortune away from mainstream media, even with their significance in the country and significant influence in global markets. While the family operates in secrecy, their business orientation is a little bit understandable and quite different from the traditional way of conducting a business. The business thrives on long-term thinking and stability over short-term profit. The company's business approach has helped to keep them in business and increase the family's wealth. The family has ensured to avoid volatility that is mostly associated with publicly traded companies. The Cargill-Macmillan family has been able to control the company through a complex system of voting shares, ensuring that key decisions remain in their hands over the decades, even with their continued expansion. The Cargill-Macmillan Megafarm. The Cargill-Macmillan Megafarm is a jaw-dropping farming business that covers multiple fields with several employees and wide operations. The agricultural business primarily focuses on farming and ranching, where agricultural products are grown, processed, and sold to various markets, and domestic animals are bred for agricultural purposes and citizens' consumption. The mega-farm spirals into the Cargill and Macmillan family's land holdings in the Midwest of the and other parts in the United States and many other countries. The family's mega-farm operations are part of their broader agricultural empire. Cargill Incorporated also operates in commodities trading and food production. The farm's outputs and profits help to boost the family's wealth and also support the business activities. The specific details of the farm vary according to different reports from farmers and visitors, but it's certain that the family's mega-farms encompass thousands of acres. Their farm produce includes corn, soybeans, and wheat, as well as livestock like cattle. The business empire also has significant investments in global commodities trading, meat processing, and food production, sectors that have allowed the family business to maintain an essential role in global food systems. The $500 million mega-farm role in feeding America. America happens to be a very big country, with many agricultural companies needing to produce the country's citizens' abundant consumption, but Cargill Inc. seems to be tending to the larger part of the economy. The company has hands in a large agricultural supply chain, as it provides resources not only to benefit the Cargill Inc., but also to contribute to the larger food system in the United States and oversees the Cargill-Macmillan family, does not limit its reach to only the United States, as it's also one of the world's largest suppliers of agricultural products and services. Cargill Incorporated operations affect everything from the food consumed to the livestock feed that supports the meat industry. The farm, which happens to the much broader operation of the business, is the most important part to the family, as that's where they get the ability to control a significant percentage of the food and commodity markets. The family's ability to control the larger portion of the market further secures their status as one of the richest and most powerful families in the world. Influence of the Cargill-Macmillan family. The Cargill-Macmillan family may live a quiet life, but their family name has an important place in the agricultural world, with major influence over global agricultural markets, trade policies, and also environmental problems related to farming and food production. Putting the food and agriculture industry aside, the wealth and influence of the Cargill Island family have helped to shape several industries like transportation, energy, and infrastructure. the family have been involved in the active pushing of agricultural policies that will favor large-scale industrial farming in the United States, with the addition of healthy practice related to monocropping livestock production. However, that's not all. The family also have a soft spot as they have commitment to philanthropy. The Cargill-Macmillan family has donated millions of dollars to many causes. These causes particularly include the areas of education, environmental conservation, and global food security. The family's philanthropic efforts have also helped support a wide range of projects, from agricultural development in new markets to disaster relief. The Cargill-Macmillan family charitable contributions are mostly channeled through foundations that operate privately, without the unnecessary attention of media, which could make the family's identities public. Folks have frequently questioned the family's privacy, as other families operate differently and are mostly popular with their affairs. The Cargill-Macmillans avoid appearing on celebrity gossips or even tabloid headlines that can tarnish or boost their image in the industry. The joint families have continued to live private lives from generations to generations.